Does being fat automatically prove that you're an idiot?
Hi, I'm Roy. I am a fat personal trainer.
My name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a power lifter, and this is what my body looks like.
Whatever you look like, that is in fact your choice. Coach Greg, in today's video, hiring a fat personal trainer.
Yeah, that feels good.
Chris, don't forget to mist under his chins.
Joe Frazier, he puts the question to the test. Should personal trainers be fat? Does it not show that they don't know what they're talking about? Let's get right into it.
When you think of a personal trainer, I assume you're imagining big muscles, toned abs, just a person who's in great shape. This is probably not what you imagine.
I may as well start by saying, no, it isn't at all what I imagine. I was a physical education teacher, and if I were to close my eyes and imagine what people would think about their phys ed teacher, they're probably not imagining someone who weighs 300 pounds. Now, does that mean you can't technically do it? No. You can do whatever you want, and if there's someone out there stupid enough or, insane enough to want to pay you the big bucks and you're 400 pounds, then by all means, they can do whatever they want. But does being fat automatically prove that you're an idiot? That you don't know what you're talking about? I'm not sure that it does.
Hi, I'm Roy. I am a fat personal trainer.
My name is Carrie. I'm a personal trainer and a power lifter, and this is what my body looks like.
But there are people online who think this is completely wrong.
I do believe it's somewhere in the middle. It's on a spectrum. Yeah, you can be fat and be a personal trainer, but should you? I could be a relationship coach, but have had 4 divorces, but does that not prove you don't know what you're talking about?
You can't assume I'm unfit based on how I look, but you are.
Yes, you can. She is not fit, and I have proof. Exhibit A, you just need to look at her. You know she's not fit. Now, does that mean she doesn't have, for example, a PhD in biomechanics, understands the human body, that she has perfect technique? Of course it doesn't. She could know more than perhaps anyone, but she simply doesn't follow her own advice. Just because you're fat, it doesn't mean you don't know how to train. It just means you're either lazy or you're not putting any of what you know into practice.
But the difference is you know what you're doing, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm instructing, they don't know what they're doing.
And so she starts off making a great point. The people who I train don't have a clue what they're doing. And so they're here. I'm there, and I get them to this point. You're already here. And so for you to hire me, does that make any sense? Of course it doesn't. And so if you're this fat, you can train people who are perhaps half as fat, if that makes any sense.
For me, health and fitness is not just about weight. It's everything from your mental health to your cardiovascular health.
And so she's right. It is more than just weight, but weight is part of it. Most people who go to the gym to train, to lift weights, to do cardio, don't want to end up morbidly obese. It's kind of the goal to get away from. And so when you're listening to somebody who's morbidly obese, you know for certain that they themselves are doing something wrong. And so if you do everything that they're doing, it's not going to work for you. And so the proof is in the pudding. And so when you see someone this bad, this out of shape, you know for certain that they are doing something wrong. And so if you hire them, well, hire them at your own risk.
I'm meeting Bobby, who's a personal trainer on the other side of the argument.
It's a free country, you can do whatever you want. I just don't think it's morally correct to be a plus-size personal trainer.
So his opinion isn't morally correct, but that she does have the right to do it. Now, here's my opinion. I think she has the right to do it, and there's nothing immoral about it. I mean, that to me is ridiculous. Morals? Morality? You can't personal train if you're overweight. Morals aside, does that make any sense? I don't think so.
That's just my opinion, that's just what I think. I don't think she could be she can, but I don't think it's morally correct.
The morality, it's not like she's lying. She's not saying, hey, look at my body. It's 25% body fat. I have an ideal physique. And so you should take your advice from me. She ain't lying. She's not making shit up. She's not writing some BS thesis like Mr. Mike did.
We have Bobby and Rhiannon here. Bobby is a personal trainer. Rhiannon is also a personal trainer.
And so those of you watching this and thinking, well, this isn't fair, you're going too hard on her, let's compare the two. if you had to say that the gentleman on your left was going to be the personal trainer for the woman on your right, would you think, yeah, that makes sense? But what if it were the opposite? She was training him. Would that even be possible? I think the answer is no. I don't think it's possible for her to train him effectively. Now, if he gained 150 pounds, if he was morbidly obese, if he was so out of shape that you thought, well, there's no way this guy could even walk, could she then be a personal trainer for that guy? I think everyone would believe so. And so let me present this scenario. There's a 400-pound woman. She has to choose between man on the left, woman on the right. Remember, she's 400 pounds. She's female. Perhaps she's uncomfortable. She's never been in the gym before. Who do you think she might prefer to have as her personal trainer? Many people probably thinking, you know what? Despite the fact that he is more qualified, that he looks better, probably knows more, all the things, she might perform better with the woman on the right because she's more relatable. She probably knows the hardships, the insecurities, and that she can get her from point A to point B. Now, once she loses 100, 150 pounds, once she's halfway to her dream physique, maybe she then can pivot and hire him on the left. And so my personal opinion is that both should be allowed to be personal trainers. There isn't anything morally wrong. And depending on the client, depending on the situation, it might be, in fact, better to have a overweight, obese, lazy female who probably doesn't know how to eat, who perhaps doesn't listen to her hunger cues, is an emotional eater, whatever got her to this state, that she's actually better for personal training for that woman than he is.
I'm a big person, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. But it
That
is
to me is body
scientifically.
And so she says body positivity, there's nothing wrong with that. Why? Because I'm a big person and, you know, I should be allowed to be big. Yeah, you should be allowed to do whatever you want. You should be allowed to drink alcohol if you're of age. You should be allowed to do whatever is legal. You should be allowed to do it. But should you? That is a better question. And so you shouldn't be this big. It's not good for you. It's stupid. It's moronic. You're throwing 20 years of good living away for nothing. Well, not for nothing, for the taste of a donut. But hey, you think that you're right.
I just feel that someone should feel accepted and proud of their body if they're not meeting society's expectation of fit.
Yeah, you feel this and you feel that. This is the problem, especially when you're arguing with a female, is that she thinks her feelings matter. We're basing the argument on facts, not feelings. Fact. You're fat and you're going to die younger because of it. Feel. I feel like I should be able to be fat and still people should like me and love me the same no matter what. I feel like I'm just as good of a person. So? So what? Feelings do not trump facts.
My reason for going over this side, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with being bigger.
Again, feelings versus facts. Is it okay to be overweight? Well, by okay, it's okay, you're allowed. But is it smart? Of course not. Like, is it okay to have 4 liters of ice cream every night before bed? Well, yes, you're allowed to do that. It's okay. You're not breaking any laws. But you're an absolute moron if you do it. And so if by okay you mean whatever you want to feel like doing, well, yes, you can. But it doesn't mean it's a smart choice.
If we lived in a world that just said it was wrong or that it's not okay to be big, I think that would be disadvantaging all the people who are big, who maybe are big for various reasons. It could be a medication, it might be mental health.
If you're overweight, it's for one reason, not 2, not 3, not 4. It's because you eat more calories than you burn off. You're in a calorie surplus. That's the only reason. Now, there's tons of reasons why you're overeating. You could be an emotional eater, your mental health, your boyfriend cooked you too much leftovers, whatever. But in the end, you decide what goes into your mouth.
I don't wake up every day, though, and choose to eat in a calorie deficit. So I think I'm neutral because the reason I am the way I am is because of my mental health. And I don't choose my mental health.
By choice, she thinks it means you snap your fingers and you look the way you want. And so, hey, I don't choose to be fat. I just am fat. No. The choices that you made were not snapping your finger and deciding, you know, I want to wake up 340 pounds. It's a series of choices that you made over the course of the last 20 years where you chose to eat in a calorie surplus. Mental health, emotional health, whatever reason, every single day, or at least more days than not, you were eating too much food, aka calories, and that's what led to this final answer of you being morbidly obese. To the same extent, do you choose to be muscular? Do you choose to be lean? Do you imagine saying no? I didn't choose to look like this. Do you think I slipped and woke up the wrong way and looked like this? Like a 50-year-old phenom? I don't think so. It took 40 plus years of hard work to get to this point. And so trust me, whatever you look like, that is in fact your choice.
But you definitely can have the choice of whether you want to eat or be in a calorie deficit.
I mean, it's 2026. If you're literally obese to this extent, have you not ever heard of GLP Max or even GO2 Max to improve your cardio, this to reduce your appetite? Why starve? Why be hungry when you could literally get my cookbook, get my supplements, and make it easy? Like losing weight, it isn't even hard. It's hard to get shredded. Of course it is, to get single-digit body fat. But to have less fat than this, like you think it would be hard for her to lose 20 pounds. She's got 120 to lose. The first 20 would go off like that. She'd add in some GLP Max. She'd be less hungry, eat less calories. Now, if you have some medical disorder, it's horrible. It's so bad. Have you ever heard of something called Ozempic? Tirzepatide? Retta? These certain GLPs. Why aren't you using them? I mean, they're literally medications. Even Oprah freaking Winfrey is saying that, hey, it's not from overeating, it's obesity. This thing called obesity, it makes you eat. She's labeled it. The gene obesity makes you eat. You have no choice in the matter. You can't stop yourself from putting the fork down, from saying no to the 17th bagel of the week. You can't say no. So Oprah says it's not your fault. You just need to use Ozempic. Now, if you need, for example, enclomiphene, testosterone, you have low levels of testosterone, you can't get it up, you need Cialis, Viagra. What if you need various peptides to help you to lose weight, to decrease your hunger cravings? Why not go to Algo RX? You know what it's for. Prescription medications that are legal, prescribed by your doctor, pharmaceutical, not some scam SARM's website where you don't know what you're getting. Only legal medications at about half the price of Merrick Health. And so if you're not a millionaire or even a billionaire like Oprah Winfrey and you want to get a good deal, Algo RX, code Greg, 10% off. Click the link in the description.
I disagree.
Okay.
I eat as a form of self-harm.
Aha. And so bingo, she finally answers something honestly. I eat as a form of self-harm. And so let me make this clear. When you eat to this extent, to this much, to being this fat, super fat, morbidly obese, it's equivalent to clavicular taking a hammer, smashing his face, or people who do things to their body on purpose. They're doing horrible things to their body. They're doing things on purpose to hurt and injure themselves. That is what happens when you overeat. It's no different. It just, society says it's okay. You know, we're not okay with doing self-harm. People aren't cool with that. Hey, you need a counselor, you need a psychologist, you need to stop hurting yourself. We don't want that. When you eat like this, it's the same thing. She is self-harming, but with food rather than implements, objects, and so on.
If that personal trainer can help one big person, then they should exist and they should be able to be a personal trainer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I agree with her on that. Remember, I'm trying not to be biased. I'm looking at this impartially as much as I can. And I do think that she wins that answer. You can be out of shape and be a personal trainer. You just have to be in better shape and motivate, inspire the person who hires you. And so there's nothing wrong with being a fat personal trainer. I think the world needs some of them. Perhaps 1 out of 100 should be this fat. And so if she's getting clients, if they're paying for her, it's not a scheme. It's not a scam. It's not immoral. She should be allowed to do this. And so I see nothing wrong with this.
I feel like it's just morally correct for a personal trainer to be in shape.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of saying it's immoral. I mean, we're not talking about lying, cheating, stealing, breaking laws it's not immoral to be a fat personal trainer.
The idea that you think that the way I exist in the world and the job I choose to do is morally incorrect, which is pretty much what you've just said, really bothers me.
See, I don't think that you should be bothered by what he thinks. You can't control what other people think of you. You can only control what you think of yourself. And so, why is it bothering you so much what he thinks? He can think whatever you want. You think these OF models that are making millions of dollars are bothered by people saying, hey, that work that you're doing, it's immoral. So why does it matter? So to the same extent, you think it bothers me when I try to sell my cookbook and other people say, oh, it's a scam. It's going to give you cancer. It's horrible. Or when I say to buy Turk Builder Max and some people out there think that it doesn't work. They think it's a scam. They think it's not actually going to be beneficial when we literally have a money back guarantee and a $50 gift card. And so is it immoral for me to try to push the sales of Turk, a company of which I own, to try to make money by selling something that I believe is the best supplement in the world? Way better than creatine. And so how would that be immoral? And so imagine me caring when bro from Bangladesh, have you seen Bangladesh? The horrible living conditions that they're under. And bro from Bangladesh, he's had a bad day. He was riding on a train. There was thousands of people. He almost died. And he writes, oh, Coach Greg is a scammer. He's selling Turk. How could that bother me? And so this, to me, it's no different. And so you got to let the muscular, good-looking young man here say, hey, it's morally wrong for you to be a fat personal trainer. She should be like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm fat. Whatever. I'm moving on with my day. Meh.
My clients see success as me because mentally I'm existing in the gym. My main goal is to get them started on their health and fitness journey.
100%.
But you think it's about getting in shape. I don't.
I mean, I'm on her side. Her goal is to get them to want to take part in a health and fitness journey. His goal is to make them fit. And so we have two different personal trainers, two different styles. He gets people to be actually in shape. She gets people to actually start their journey. And so how would that be different for myself? People watch Coach Greg to lose weight, to get in shape, to get the motivation, and make a difference in their lives. They may watch another YouTuber to simply inspire them. Hey, I watched a video, people exercising, look kind of cool. Maybe I'll try it. They watch my videos. They want to try it, go to the gym, listen to me, get inspired, and they make a difference, and they change and lose 100 pounds. And so from start to finish, I'm a channel you can listen to. Other people, they do a different task.
The approach is very different though, and I think...
I really don't think it is.
I think it is, and I think we appeal to different people, and fundamentally, I think that's the difference.
Disagree.
It's funny that he disagrees with her. She's saying, I have a different clientele than you. He's like, nope, we all want the same thing. You really think that the people that hire her are the same guys and girls that are going to hire you? Come on. Like, the people that are hiring her are not people that are 50 pounds overweight. They're probably scared shitless to go to the gym. They've never even thought about it. They're just in there ready to do something, anything. Perhaps they're there with her to go for a walk, a slow one at that. You, on the other hand, I'm certain that the people who are hiring you have way more confidence. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please like this video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch any of those two bloobs. Don't forget to go to AlgoRx as well as HTLT supplements. And remember, we're looking for sponsored athletes. And so if you have a large follower or even a smaller one, you can click and apply by clicking the link in the description. And remember, if you want to carry HTLT supplements in your stores or in your gyms, you can click and apply as well. And until next time, I am out.